and welcome to week 15 of my Weight Watchers journey. I've been following the green plan since the first week in January and had an awful lot of success with it. This week's been a good week. Stuck to plan, eating me 30 points a day, and I didn't quite eat all the 28 points of the week. I think I ate about 24, which is quite good. I haven't eaten anything new this week. Normally I like to show you new products, but we haven't had anything new this week. I've been back on the cornettos this week. I love cornettos. I don't know if anybody else likes the soy ones. I love ice cream altogether. There's so many new ice creams out now, vegan ones, but I don't try them. I love Swedish glaze. To me is the absolute best vegan ice cream you can buy. And after that, I love cornettos and then magnums. I really love them. And there are so many new ones out. I think Tesco's do their own, all the supermarkets do their own make now. But I tried a few, going back a few years ago now, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, which I understand that that's when they were first coming out, so perhaps they weren't as good as some of the bigger makes. But I did try, I think it was Ben & Jerry's, and I didn't like it. And I tried Alpro's ice cream and I didn't like that. And I tried Iceland's ice cream, I didn't like that either. So with all these new ones coming out now, and some of them look gorgeous, but I'm very reluctant to try them. So I've been sticking to my old cornettos as they're a firm favourite. I did an experiment this week. It might not interest you. Sort of thing that interests me because I like figures and I like to analyse things. But I took my week's Weight Watchers points and decided to find out how many calories that came to a day, just out of interest. I didn't do it as I went along because I thought it might influence what I ate. I waited till the end of the week, and each day when I reckoned it up, it came out as round about 1,200 to 1,250 calories a day. But then when you add on top of that the weekly points that you get, which is about another 120 calories a day, so it takes you up to around about 1,350 calories a day. And then when you add on the things that Weight Watchers, because that was just for the pointed foods, so you have to think as well, added on top of that is fruit. I think apples are, what is an apple, about 50 calories? And the vegetables, which are about, I think vegetables are around about 100 calories per 100 grams or something, aren't they? Well, when you add those on top, and the other things that you don't count, like the Quorn ham pieces, other little bits that are added in that are 25 calories here, 50 calories there, that you don't count points for. So all in all, I reckoned that each day it came to around about 1,400 calories, which, I don't know, was just interesting. I don't know, it might not interest you, but I like to know these things. So that's what I reckon it came out to. But it's been a really good week. I had a lovely meeting on Thursday. I really do like the Zoom meetings. We have a lovely coach called Ian. The usual second coach, Claire, wasn't there this week. We had somebody new who I didn't know, and she seemed quite nice though. But they're such a nice crowd, and we had some new people there this week, so it was interesting to hear their points of view. Everyone seemed to be doing quite well, back on track after Easter. So I think I told you last week, I've now finished my 3 months free trial on Weight Watchers, and now I've got the 3 paid months coming up. And I've made a decision that after those 3 months I am going to work towards leaving Weight Watchers and going on my own. Not because I don't think the plan's any good, and it's got nothing to do with Weight Watchers being dissatisfied with it, but I want to get to a point where I'm not doing any plan at all, and that's what I'm going to work towards. So from this video forwards, I'm going to start doing Weight Watchers Monday to Friday and not at the weekends. I'm not saying I'm going to do the Weight Watchers in the week and then just go off plan at the weekend. What I mean is that I'm going to try and not do a specific plan at the weekends but stay to the principles that have now become a habit. I've been doing this 3 months now. I should know by now how much food to eat in a day. And I have got a good idea. I think I can do this. So I want to try it before I get to the end of the Weight Watchers trial. So for the next 3 weeks, I won't be doing Weight Watchers at the weekend. And if that doesn't work out and I'm not having the success that I want, I'll go back to counting every day and try again later on. However, if it does work out and I carry on losing and everything seems to be working out all right, then I'm going to knock another couple of days off for the next month and so on. And the aim being that at the end of the next 3 months, I'll stop going to Weight Watchers and try and go on my own. I've been reading, I did try intuitive eating years ago and it didn't work out for me at all. It was just a disaster and I put a lot of weight on and it didn't work out. I was very disappointed. But I've read a book, I read it years ago and I didn't do it, but I've read it again recently, and it's called Over Binge by Kathryn Hansen. I forgot her name for a minute. Kathryn Hansen's Over Binge, and it was a book she brought out when she managed to kick her own binging habits years ago. And she brought the book out telling you all about it and how well, it didn't go into a lot of detail about how she did it, but it did talk through her life and how she managed to get over binge eating. And then later on she brought out another book which was more of a self-help book. The first one was more like an autobiographical type thing, but so many people asked her for the details that she brought out a second book. I think it's called The Binge Recovery Guide, or Over Binge Recovery Guide. So I've been reading that again and it's a very, very interesting book. It gives you perhaps a way of thinking about binge eating that you might not have thought of before. However, one of the main principles in it that she talks about is that you cannot give up binge eating while still wanting to lose weight, and she's quite strict about that. And she's, she does say, like a lot of the binge eating books say, unless you're prepared to give up dieting, then you'll never stop binge eating. Well, I just can't go along with that. I'm not prepared to put any weight on. And, perhaps sooner or later I will be prepared to stay the same, but at the minute I do want to lose. But just listening to the way she talks about tackling binges when they come, how to think about them, how to feel about them and how to dismiss them, I find very interesting. And to me, I don't see why you can't pick the best of everything. And so I've been trying to implement the things that she said in the book, and I'm finding that they're working for me enormously. They've made a huge difference to the way I tackle the urge to binge when it comes upon me. I know people perhaps listening to this video might not be binge eaters, but if you are, it's a very interesting book to read. And I have just today got a book by Andy, what's his name now? Pedicum, is it? I forget his name. The fellow that does the Headspace podcasts and the app that's on the phone. He's just brought a book out called Mindful Eating, I think. And I thought that's going to be really interesting because that's the sort of thing I want to get to. I want to stop counting points and sins and calories and weighing everything and measuring. I just want to get back to how things used to be years ago when I never had to think about it. I don't know if I can get there, to be honest. I really don't, but I want to give it a try. So that's going forward. Anyway, on to the live weigh-in. Last week I weighed 11 stones, 2.5 pounds. And if I could lose 1.5 pounds today, it would put me on exactly 2.5 stones loss. So I'm hoping for 11 stones 1 on the scales today. So weight the scales up.
It's ready.
Okay. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe in.
11 stones, 0.6 pounds.
0.6 pounds, so that's a £2 weight loss. £2, I'm really pleased with that. Almost down to the 11 stone, almost there. So I'm very pleased with that, as you can imagine. Last week I was a bit disappointed to have lost £1, so I think some of that shifted over to this week. So hopefully next week, if things carry on the same, I could be in the 10 stones. I really hope so. So I hope everybody else has had a good week. I know it's been getting on springtime now. It's been lovely weather out. We've been out for some walks, and although it's cold, it's still sunny, and it makes you feel like you want to get some nice clothes on and get out there, and looking forward to summer. So I'll say goodbye now, and thanks for watching. I'd love to hear how you're getting on in the comments below. It's always nice, and I always read them, and I always reply. I love to see how everyone's doing. So drop me a line, let me know, and I hope you all have a good week. Take care for now. Bye!